Hello everybody, this is Frony about here, and welcome back to another Real Racing 3 video. Real Racing 3 video. Sort of. Choked on my intro there. So we're about to complete another race. This is a 7-lap race at Melbourne. Win one of these events. Yep. This one was 7 laps at Melbourne. Took 7 minutes and 40 seconds, so this is going to be a long race, I feel. Yeah, this race was a bit of a struggle for me because I actually have done this race twice. Well, the first time I did this race, I crashed into someone on the 6th lap, and I failed the goal, so I had to start it over again. And this is my second try, which has been successful. So, yes. So, the trouble with this goal is the lapped cars. They drive so slow that you have to try to avoid the crash into them, otherwise you will fail the goal, like I did on the 6th lap on my previous attempt. This is my second attempt. This one I've been a lot more careful. So let's view the race and watch the action. It's out Melbourne, and the trouble with this track is that it's so narrow. It's hard to it's almost impossible to overtake someone without crashing into them, or even making contact, I should say. Or, well, crashing into them is the problem. Let's see, is the volume. Yeah, so as you can see, I had some trouble to get around the slower cars, like the Chevrolet Cobalt and Dodge Charger that drive really slowly. And overtaking them is trouble when they become lapped cars, and then you have to overtake them twice. So that's one of the troubles with lapped cars. Well, you wouldn't normally see them like this if they were like but these are cars and they're slow compared to the Chevrolet Corvette. I spun that guy out because he would not get out of my way, so I had to spin him out. Kind of dirty, but serves him right. Sort of. And afterward, I do pretty well. A few minor contacts made, but other than that, I did this race pretty well without crashing into the cars too badly. There's the Mountain Dew Chevrolet Camaros. Had a bit of a contact with him, and I ended up scraping the wall. And there's Ahmed up ahead in his slow Chevrolet 69 Corvette, which actually seems to be doing pretty well up against the Camaro. I'm surprised. Yep, there's Ahmed in his old slow coach. And of course, tomorrow is the final day of the Stingray Evolutions before I win the Chevrolet Corvette CR1 C51. Yeah, it's been a pretty interesting event. The only thing I didn't like about this event is the drag race. That's impossible to complete. The improvised drag race. It's impossible. But other than that, I've pretty much enjoyed this event. The goals and stages have been quickly, pretty straightforward races. Well, stick for the improvised races. Well, the improvised drag races were pretty much the almost impossible part out of this entire event. Other than that, the goals were pretty easy. And tomorrow's the final day. I wonder what the final day has to bring. Probably another improvised drag race. If so, I'm most likely going to have to skip it. However, today on the daily bonus, I got a 20 gold daily bonus thingy-madoobie flip, which was pretty nice. And if I'm lucky, at some point I'll be able to buy the Chevrolet 69 Corvette Stingray. Well, maybe not anytime soon, but we'll see. Maybe the car will go on sale at some point. So we're coming up on this Ford Shelby, and when it was near the end of this lap, I saw a couple of Ford GTs getting held up by a very slow Chevrolet Cobalt SS. They were driving a black Chevrolet Cobalt SS, driving really slowly, holding up the leaders. Here it comes. Now watch what happens in this part. So I go through the turns, and look, those two Ford GTs are getting held up by that black Chevrolet SS. Chevrolet Cobalt SS. Yes, that black Chevrolet Cobalt SS is their mortal enemy for the Ford GTs, which is how I overtook them, and I actually gained a pretty good lead since they were getting held up. And I had a bit of trouble getting around that guy, and I had some trouble getting around a few of the other lapped cars, like this Chevrolet Cobalt SS. Watch how much, well, it's not really of a struggle to get around this one, but you will see later in the race. And the biggest threat was to not crash into the people. Well, basically the goal is trying not to go off track or crash into the other cars. But that would be for Mount Panorama and Suzuka, which was the other ones. I went for Melbourne because I thought it was going to be the most interesting one, considering it was 7 laps. There was no place to go off track, and yeah, so Melbourne is pretty much impossible to go. Well, it is impossible to go off track because there's no grass here that you can drive off of. So, but the biggest threat is in Melbourne is well, even though you choose it to try not to go off track, there's the threat of crashing into another one of the cars. Like, I could have selected Mount Panorama or Suzuka, but that would increase the chances of me going off track. Well, not really, because I'm pretty good at those tracks. Melbourne, I decided to make it interesting, so I selected Melbourne, which was 7 laps. There. The other ones, Mount Panorama and Suzuka, were both 4 laps, but this was 7 laps, so that's why I decided to choose it, because it would make things more interesting. And I like the interesting goals where there's like the short tracks, but there's multiple laps. Because I think if I don't really know. So yes, did pretty well. And now I ran out of words to say. So I'm just silent right now because I have nothing to say. Let's see. So tomorrow's the final day when we face off against Magnus, and Amid is gonna try to face off Rusty. He's probably not gonna beat Rusty, but I'll beat Magnus. And eventually I'll get the Chevrolet Corvette Stingray Z51, which is my dream car, actually. I think I told you that already a few other goals. Oh yeah, I had a bit of trouble getting around that Dodge Challenger. And so I can't wait to win this car. I wonder what the final day has to bring. Probably another improvised drag race. If so, then I will most likely have to skip it. But other than that, the other goals should be pretty straightforward. I'm guessing there's going to be 5 goals tomorrow. If not, there's going to be 6 or maybe even 7. I'm hoping 5. Maybe 4 goals if lucky. The last goal is probably going to be a long one, because it's the big one where we face off. Well, I'm not really too sure. I don't really know what the final day has to bring, but I am excited, because then I can win the car. And I can take it home and then customize it into the latest Frony 13 car, which is going to be exciting. And now we have some... Oh, no, never mind. Oops, sorry about the shakiness there. Didn't miss anything. Yes. And there's another cobalt. Yes, I don't know why they put these cobalts if they can't even compete. I guess it's to add the extra challenge for... If you come up to them when they're gonna go a lap down, then I guess it makes things more interesting. Yes. Slow down in the name of law. The law is the law, and we can't change it. Yes. So I don't know when the final lap is. It could be this one or the next one. Let's make things more interesting and guess which lap is going to be the last one. Oh, that was it. Alright. That's the ending. Alright. Continue. Car is going to be in need of a service. It was actually in service condition at the start, but it was only a tiny bit into the red, so it didn't really make a difference. You have to service it. Continue. I'm not going to get any upgrades. I don't think I ever will, for the fact that they're gold and it's expensive and stuff. Alright, so that was the final goal of the day. Let's see what whoever the ending person has to say. Or what the rewards are going to be like. Stake 6 complete. And what's the reward? $10,000. Are we going to get any gold? 5 gold. I was thinking 10, but nah. Alright. We're about to see if all your training has pulled off. Between you and Amid, there has been a tremendous effort. Good luck tomorrow. And that's it. So tomorrow's the last day of Stingray Revolutions, and the day I will get the Chevrolet Corvette Z Stingray Z51, which I'm excited. The stage opens tomorrow, but I do have a few more videos coming out later today, and I guess I'll see you then. Goodbye.